Hey everybody, it's Joey with Geektyrant.com. This is Drupals.
Hey.
We are here at CinemaCon in Las Vegas. We're here all week checking stuff out, and we just got out of the Warner Brothers panel.
Yes,
where
we did.
they showed us some, what?
DC awesomeness.
We've got stuff to talk about with Aquaman,
Yep.
Justice League, and Wonder Woman.
It was awesome.
They showed some pretty cool stuff. But
Yes,
let's,
they did. Let's just break it down.
We got 3 things we want to talk to you about, so we're just going to jump right into it.
Right.
First,
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Let's do that.
They didn't have any footage to show us,
None,
unfortunately.
because Aquaman himself is going down to Australia right now, right this moment, to start filming.
To shoot the film.
To shoot the
they
film.
haven't
Yeah,
even
so that's
started
why they
shooting
don't
it.
have any footage to show us.
But they did show us some concept art,
which was super cool, actually.
and I'm a huge fan of concept art.
Oh, I'm a big fan of
I
concept
love
art.
concept art. So
So-
it's fun to see the
Pre-visuals
pre-visualizations
of all the stuff that's good, yeah.
of
the film and everything.
Yeah.
Basically, the impression I got from this is like, I got excited about this because it felt like seeing Asgard again, you know, from Marvel's Thor, right?
Yeah,
when
but
they were
it's-
start
but
showing
it's
that,
all
but it was
underwater.
underwater, and I love the way the director was talking about it. He's like, you see this space battle, right? And you see all these fighters and stuff going around, and then you get up close and you realize,
like
oh my
zoom in,
goodness,
you're like, wait
that's
a
a
second.
guy riding a shark. And these things are submarines, and they're all underwater. And I'm like, that's actually really cool. I love that idea.
Pretty awesome,
Right?
I mean, if you see the concept art, you'd be like, damn, that's cool.
That's super cool. And I love how we get to see him running all kinds of creatures. Not just like sharks and stuff. We get to see like I would assume some sort of like Leviathan or Kraken type creature,
yeah,
right?
it was really cool looking.
It was super cool.
And
it was like,
it's epic scale
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
it was
I mean,
like
you got these
huge.
elaborate statues, these huge
Right?
buildings.
yeah, all underwater for Atlantis and
And
stuff,
for
right?
concept art, it's really detailed stuff. I mean, they
really went all out with the concept.
I can't wait to see what James Wan does with this stuff.
Totally.
When he actually brings it to life on the big screen.
Yeah.
If he can pull this off,
Then I'm sold.
you're
I'm
in.
good.
We are in for one hell of an awesome Aquaman movie.
All right, cool, yeah. So, Justice League. What do we see, Joey?
Well, hold on. I have some notes here from Aquaman.
Pardon.
I'm just seeing. Let's see. Oh man, there was something I want to talk about. Now I can't find it.
Was it like concept related, or was it something else? Was it like what the story was about?
It was with the story.
Because like we did learn from the director that this is effectively, it's an origin story, and he put it as like, it's a type of origin story. It's like, no, there is no type of origin story. It's either an origin story or it's not.
Yeah.
And the way he described it is like, I want the way that Aquaman experiences Atlantis is the same way the audience. It's like he's seeing it for the audience for the first time, right? With the audience for the first time, I should say. And I really like that idea, but at the same time, are we not getting too worried about it being an origin story? But being Aquaman, I don't know his origin story. Do you?
A little bit.
A little bit?
I
Yeah,
didn't,
so
I
there
didn't
you
read
go.
a lot of Aquaman growing up. I know from
Right,
what I've done in basic
and I
research
think that's
stuff.
actually, that's probably for the benefit of a lot of our readers / viewers.
Yeah.
I think this will be a good thing to get a refresher on who Aquaman even is, you know? Like everyone keeps putting him down as like the worst one of the Justice League, and now he's turning out to be probably the coolest one of the Justice League. I mean, he's pretty cool. You know, minus like say the Flash or something, but still.
Yeah, I couldn't find my notes. I don't know what happened.
That's okay.
I probably deleted it.
Let's just move on.
That's
to
pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
Justice League.
Justice League. We got to see a new trailer, so to speak.
You've already seen
The majority of what we saw.
Yeah, it's like there's the whole middle part you've seen, and then there's like a beginning you haven't seen, and an end. Basically, the beginning we see Bruce Wayne is working on.
It's like basically his like I guess it's like some kind of like mobile base is what it was made sound like, almost like a helicarrier.
No,
not like that. I think it was. Anyways. Basically, he's like, you know, don't mess up with my thing, because he's talking to Barry Allen, who's in there as well as Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman. And there's just like this extended scene of like, oh, we're doing something, we're coming up, and then like they have the scene again that we did see, which is I'm preparing, and Wonder Woman says, "There's no preparing. The war's already happening. It's started, basically."
It's like we got to get our shit together and start fighting back because shit's going down.
Right, exactly. So then we kind of go into what we saw with the original trailer.
blood, blah,
Blah,
blah.
blah, blah.
We've seen all that stuff.
You
If
did.
you like it, cool. But then it ends on something we haven't seen yet.
And it's this fun scene. It's like slow
really
motion.
fun. You can see, it's
Wonder
got the
Woman's like
flash.
falling down.
Yes, she's
And
falling down
her
this
sword's like just right in front of her. She can't quite get it because, you know, they're falling at the same rate.
And it's super, super slow motion.
Yeah, super slow motion. I wonder why. And then we see the Flash, and again, it's like the silo thing. So he's like running up down the thing, and then he's just kind of,
and this sword's right there,
and he's
right?
just, you'd be the sword, I'll be the sword, you be the
Okay,
Flash.
so he comes in,
The sword's coming,
he's running,
right?
he's just
and Wonder
like,
Woman's coming down, and then the sword's like coming, and then
he just
like this,
like
and
that.
then Wonder Woman goes and grabs it, and it's like climactic moment. Cut to Justice League logo. It was pretty cool.
That was one of the coolest scenes we saw at the Justice League. That might be the coolest thing I've seen from Justice League so far.
You know how much I loved it? I loved it so much. I was like, oh, I wish I could have seen that before. Where have I seen that? X-Men. Quicksilver. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I had to say it because guess what? They totally lifted that from the Quicksilver scene.
let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
The movie looks great visually.
It really does.
We just don't know if the
Is
story
it gonna hold
or the
up?
script. Yeah, I mean,
With the story.
I'm so hoping that
I am too. Honestly, I am too.
The story and script are just as good as those visuals are, because if that happens, that would be great. I'm not counting on it. I know we're gonna get a fun movie. I know it's gonna be entertaining.
Right.
There's no doubt about that. But I want a great DC movie. I want a great DC one.
And Justice League has to be that great DC movie.
I don't want to like settle for anything anymore with DC.
No.
I want them to give me the best that they've got. And I hope the Justice League gives us that.
I hope it does too. But let's talk about the movie that's coming up next.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. And we saw a lot of Wonder Woman.
They gave us like 4 different scenes.
Yeah, and so
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and it was really cool, and I actually enjoyed it because like it felt more natural and stuff like that. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
What was the first scene that we saw?
The first scene, Princess Diana
and Chris Pine. With like Trevor Knight, Trevor King, Prince, whatever. I don't know. Her name's Diane Prince. Yeah, whatever.
I'm so tired right now.
Me too. But basically, Chris Pine, Captain Kirk. Anyways, he and her are on a boat, right?
Yes.
And they're talking about effectively like the appropriateness of like laying with a woman.
Yeah,
like, not
because she's like, will you cut? He's on the other end of the boat. She's
like,
laying down. They're getting ready to go to sleep.
Why aren't you laying next to me? Basically,
she's like, will you come sleep with me?
Well, yeah, and she says it like this. Will you sleep with me? He's like, no. And it's like, and he's like stumbling on his words. It's like it's just outside of marriage. It's not really because again, this movie takes place during World War I, right? Yeah. So it's like okay, and then. She's like, well, I don't get what the big deal is. And he's like, well, if you don't think it's a big deal, then okay, let's do it, right? And they just lay next to each other and stuff. Cut to, they get to London, and she's like, what is this place?
Like,
this
is where we're good. This is London.
And she's like, this is a shithole.
This is ugly as hell.
Yeah, right, exactly. And it shows like industrial London and stuff.
But it was a fun, charming moment between these two characters.
And that's what I'm getting at. It's like this scene had more substance than anything I've seen in the DCU so far. Yeah. Because it had subtext. It had these moments of like banter and just like levity, but not over. Not like going full tilt the other way. It's just it felt more natural, and it gets me like excited for Wonder Woman as a good DC. Will it be the best one? I don't know, but it might be the best of the bunch.
Yeah,
at the rate we're going,
we'll see. We'll see.
But what else did we see? We saw.
Well, after that, it just kind of goes into these action sequences.
Like
basically extended sequences of what we've seen in the trailer.
Exactly. So like the part where she's like dressed all in the trench coat and she blocks the thing like when he's like right here. She's like,
they're in the alleyway.
Yeah, exactly. And they try to shoot her and stuff like that, or him.
And that scene plays out awesomely. I mean, it's really cool just to see her
and stuff like that.
Kick these, thugs' asses.
Yeah, and it felt like it was like a subdued scene to just sort of say like, oh, she can still be, covert.
Yeah, exactly,
right?
exactly.
And again, she's learning how to be Wonder Woman and Diana Prince in the real world versus on Amazon or Amazonia, whatever that place is that she comes from. So, like. Anything else that we saw from that?
One thing I want to talk about in regards to the action sequences.
Okay.
Is I don't know if you've noticed this or not.
Sure. Maybe.
Slow motion.
Slow motion.
I'm sitting there, I'm watching these action sequences, and I'm saying,
no, it's true.
I'm like, this looks like this looks like Zack Snyder directed Patty Jenkins to direct the movie.
Right? Yeah, no, totally.
I felt that I didn't want to,
right?
But with all the slow motion shots that were in these scenes,
yeah, no,
I mean,
that's
there was one long drawn out scene, and I can't even tell you, like, there were at least 10, well, 7, almost 10 slow motion shots.
Yeah, no, there. That's true.
It had that same Zack Snyder slow mo.
And I feel like
that's
totally what it is. It's because like he set the tone of the whole universe, which is.
But you don't have to always do the slow motion.
Agreed, right? And so like it's a shame that he got to set the tone.
Yes.
Because when you get someone like say Favreau who set the tone for the Marvel universe,
yes,
they went with it.
But then they adapted and did their own thing, gave them creative freedom to try stuff.
Very true, and I think that's where DC is struggling versus Marvel's.
Because I don't
like,
why.
Again, I'm not trying to bash on DC. I'm just saying that DC. I want DC to succeed. I really do.
Yeah.
Because I love those characters.
I just want them to have the freedom to do what they want and not feel like they have to.
Right.
They have to direct the same way Zack Snyder was.
Right.
That Zack Snyder did, because Patty Jenkins is a good director with her own style, but we're not seeing a different style. We're seeing Zack Snyder's style directed by someone else.
Exactly.
Which is kind of what bugs me about Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong,
totally
it looks good, and the story looks like it'll be better than anything Snyder has come up with so far. But the direction is Snyder.
It is tainted by Zack Snyder. Yeah, totally. I agree, 100%. So yeah, but beyond that, I'm optimistic about Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I'm super optimistic about it. I'm also optimistic about Aquaman too. What am I not optimistic about? Justice League. I shouldn't say that. I think it's going to be fun, but just in the back of my mind is like, guess who's directing it? And I'm like, you're right.
But we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's DC. We're all fanboys.
We're
all fangirls. We all want this. We all want DC to succeed. No one is yelling for DC to fail.
No.
I mean, it's just
we're crying because they're not living up to their potential. We feel like parents yelling at our kids. That's a bad analogy, but it's what it is.
Anyway, that's that.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching, and keep a lookout for more videos because we got more coming. We got 2 more presentations coming up. So lots more videos to come.
Lots more coming up.
So stay tuned for that.
All
Thanks
right.
for watching. Have a great night. Talk to you later.
Bye. Guys.